What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PPL podcast, episode number 5. It is Monday, January 8th, 2018. And this question comes from the king, the man, Greg King. And he basically wanted to know PPL, the difference between paid traffic and SEO, what's easier, more affordable, quicker, all that good stuff. So in this video today, I want to kind of talk about this week and maybe do the whole new format of the main talking point on the Monday will be the actual talking point, and then during the week we'll answer questions and do stuff as well if it's needed. Obviously, if it's not needed, we'll move on to next week. No big deal. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, what are you mostly? Are you paid? Are you SEO? What do you do? Like I said before, I'm probably 75% paid. I prefer paid versus SEO. I do get some long tail SEO stuff, but it's not really those are to me like bonus stuff that comes in. I prefer to do paid. I can control it. I know what my cost is. You get a real cost of your thing, and the effort's done, right? So, as an example of this, let's say I have a plumber in Miami, right? So I have a plumber client in Miami. It's my first ever client. I get their account really well. I'm getting leads, like maybe 30, 40 bucks. I'm selling for 75 to 100, doing really well, right? Maybe I get them for more than that. Who cares? But I have a good number and it's working really well. So I now have a really optimized campaign. So then I decided I want to go to Orlando and I want to do the same thing for plumbers in Orlando. Well, all I have to do, I don't have to worry about setting up a website and trying to get all these long tail keywords to rank and seeing what links to build and all that stuff on a regular basis. All I got to do is copy the campaign, change the targeting, right? Do some of the keyword stuff that we got to do to make sure that it's the same kind of keywords in the same area. And basically a couple days worth of work, and I have a brand new campaign earning money almost instantly, right? There is none of this waiting for a while to see what's going on. All I got to do is I already know what the cost is going to be roughly, right? I mean, obviously, maybe a little bit more, maybe less in the area, but I can compare city size and competition. I can kind of get an idea of what the cost is going to be for that area roughly, and know that if I'm charging $100 per lead anyway, I know I want to be good. So I can go in tomorrow, within a week or so, have an entire, obviously, and here's the thing too, right? The cool thing about what we do is that we have our web pages, or, we actually use landing pages. Those are all, basically going to help you build up a business as well, because you don't have to worry about changing out all these different web pages. Because you're doing just plumbing or whatever niche you're going to be in, all you got to do is replicate the page and change out the logos. It's not really hard to do that. So you already have your landing pages optimized. You're getting your 8s, 9s, and 10s on relevancy score, or your quality score. On quality score on AdWords. But the point is that you get all those done, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's all done. It's all nice and neat, packaged up, and you just copy and paste, right? All you have to do is worry about is getting new partners. With SEO, if I was in home services like plumbing, I would probably also run some Craigslist campaigns as well, and you can consider that paid or SEO. I'm not really sure what you consider that. I consider that paid. So I'm always going to tell you use paid, right? Paid is better, because even if you have click fraud where people are clicking on your ads randomly, you can learn that. You can learn when that click was added. You can see the IP. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of like mitigate that. So you can control a lot of stuff, and the time. The time is the biggest thing. There's like zero time with optimizing an AdWords campaign for PPL. Now, a regular campaign for AdWords is not the same as a PPL campaign, okay? If there's 100 people searching today for, plumbing service in Miami, I want 3 or 4, and I want those 3 or 4 to be profitable. I don't care about having 100 people call me today. I don't care. I want the 3 or 4 that are profitable. And what that means is I'd rather pay $10 than $40 for that click, right? Obviously. So there's things that we do to mitigate, how we're doing it. And then there's certain ways to search from a certain area. There's a lot of things you can do in targeting. We talk about it in the course. But the idea, though, is that the real way to kind of grow a business, and to really, especially if you're good at getting partners. If you're good at getting partners, and by the way, you could outsource all that stuff, right? You could outsource PPC management. I mean, Invisible does that for dirt cheap, right? So, we recommend at least a $3,000 a month budget for PPC, so $500-600 a month for them to manage it for you. But there's you have to like figure out what makes sense for you. And I think if you're really, really good at SEO and you love doing link building and you love building out sites, that's okay too. Like, right, get those kind of built out first and have some, cause especially if you're going to be doing SEO long term anyway, or I'm sorry, in a specific niche long term anyway, right? That's totally fine. If you're gonna work with just plumbers, then who cares if you build sites and you don't get partners yet? Just build sites, right? And then get your partners as they come along, because it might take a little time for you to get partners in an area, but you'll have calls coming in and people are going to want to take those calls, even if you sell them for dirt cheap, whatever. But the misconception with SEO is that you spent $300 this month on links, so it only cost you $300. That's not the case. It costs you a lot more than that, because it costs you time, effort, reporting, link building. All that stuff takes time and effort that most SEOs don't take into account when you're doing it. So if I had to go, what's like the fastest in order of the three, which I'm considering Craigslist, a little bit of both, but I'll say AdWords and then Craigslist and then SEO. Obviously, that's just the normal way anyway, right? If you're going to start out and you want to first get things going and you're nervous about getting leads right away, nothing's better than AdWords. You just need to figure out, like right now, if I was getting a partner in a seasonal thing, like I don't know, if I was doing lawn care up north, I would do SEO right now, because SEO takes time to build out, right? It takes time to work, and by the time the snow melts, it'll be ready to be kicking and rocking and rolling. So might do both, right? So it's okay. We just don't I don't really target a whole lot of like I said, for personal injury. I'm not targeting auto accident attorney or personal injury attorney. I'm doing long tail stuff because it's just easier. There's less competition and I can control a little more. You might get, from your site, you might get 10 calls, 20 calls a week, depends on, it's not like you're doing it like 20 a day. But it's okay. I don't mind doing that, right? I don't mind getting a couple different areas and getting a couple calls in a day. It's like an extra bonus for me. It costs me $15 for the domain and $100 a year for the hosting. It's like $150. 3 leads. If I get 3 leads per year, remember that content again is already written, right? Because I'm doing the same vertical over and over again, the same niche over and over again. So it's real simple, man. Might take a couple hours. Let's just say it takes you a week to build the site out. Let's say it takes you a true 20 hours. Let's just say, right? So let's say let's say you're doing 100 hours, $2,000 plus the domain, that's just hosting. It's $2,100. So if you get 21 leads a year out of that site, you're broken even. Okay, fine. Whatever. That's, what is that, 2 a month basically? It's nothing. You'll get that. And so yeah, there's both. I mean, obviously if you have a good partner, and the one thing too that's good about PPL and AdWords as a combination is that if you do it right, you get a percentage or a number of leads up front. So if you're getting 5 or 10 leads up front, as a good faith kind of deposit for the program, what can happen here is that when you get that, you use that for your ad spend, right? And remember, you're charging a premium to what you're going to be charged. So let's say you're charging 100, you should be hopefully getting true leads for less than 50, or even 75. It's okay. I mean, obviously you want more, but as long as you're getting leads for like 50, I would say up to 60, you're still profitable. Like most large companies run off of a 20-30% margin. Obviously, our companies are smaller. You want to run off of a 50% margin or more if you can. We try to do 3 times where we're at. We try to do 3 times our money. But we do a lot of this. It's 3 times the money on a not on a net basis, but mostly on a gross basis. So if I am doing AdWords for a personal injury attorney, we charge $375 per lead. I want to hopefully get an actual lead for less than $125. That's my goal, which we normally do. Sometimes they're $400 in the beginning because we're in brand new area. We haven't been targeting. You don't know how to target stuff, and we're learning stuff. It can happen in the beginning. But you're using that money. Remember, if they pay the first 5 leads, as an example, if they pay first 5 leads and you get $500 and your cost for those 5 leads is $300, you still made $200, which you could use for your onboarding, which is registering a domain, do all that stuff, get the landing page up, and all these things. So the point of all that is that you can really control your business model based on what you're good at and what you're comfortable with. But you're never going to beat paid traffic. You're just never going to beat paid traffic. You can fight and you can scratch and you can wait for Google updates and figure out how to run PBNs and rent links all the time, or you can just pay for results, which is what you do with your PPL business. You also do that with AdWords. And so with AdWords, you're basically saying, okay, If someone looks at my ad, don't charge me. But if someone clicks on it, charge me. Okay. Now, are all those clicks going to turn into results? No, of course not. Right? You're gonna even the ones that are calling you aren't necessarily going to actually turn into an actual paid lead for you, right? Because you have criteria. Part of our business model is to have a premium on the criteria. So we say we have a little more what that is, but there's ways to qualify that, right? So like obviously I have a call center so we can qualify people more before we even pass them off to the partner. So every call they get, it's like, wow, all these calls are coming in are amazing, right? We filter the calls out before they even get there, and we obviously I already have employees, so I'm paying them technically, it's in theory, but in a way it's cost effective for me. And so the idea behind all that is that you can really just send the good quality calls to your partner if you're nervous about them not being charged, so exactly what's going to be billable, what's not going to be billable. But yeah, I think always your main focus. If you don't know AdWords, you should learn AdWords. I think it's really important. I think it's more important than SEO. Learn how to do paid is I think super super important. SEO is important too, which you can get there with technical SEO to an extent, and you can learn it over time and look at trends and analytics like that. You can kind of figure that out. But if you can learn how to close partners and learn paid traffic, you are going to make a ton of money. Easily make 10 grand a month in profit if you after a while in PPL. That's not hard to do. Paid and securing partners are always going to be the biggest assets you have. SEO is a secondary, if not tertiary, thing for us. We do it because we know it, and I know SEO. I've done it my whole life. Well, not my whole life, but you know what I mean. I've been doing it for since the early 2000s. I've been domaining since the late 90s. But the idea though is that SEO has changed a lot. Obviously, you used to be able to literally put a site up and build links to it and call it a day, and you'd have it didn't matter if you had a million links to a local site, it would rank better. But now, obviously there's a lot more technical SEO involved. Obviously writing quote unquote good quality content like we talked about last week, or good relevant content as I call it. All those things help with SEO, and there are strategies that help get more rankings to stuff too. But I just think all that extra stuff is waiting for a Google slap or waiting for someone to block out your site or something like that, when all you gotta do is run some ads and get paid. I don't know, man. It's a really simple. There's no frustration. There's no waking up tomorrow and the newest Penguin or Panda update comes out, and I know Panda's rolling now, but you get the idea. I remember in 2012, just the downfall of sites everywhere. All these stuff got hit. They were relatively easy to fix, but you still had to fix the problem. So it's just one of those things, man. I think between paid traffic and SEO, I think paid's better. Between SEO and Craigslist, I think you're probably, I would say 50-50. Depends on, the thing is, not every area will work with Craigslist, right? We had in the boroughs of New York, we did it for, I think it was a roofer. I think we did it for. It was okay. I don't think we made money on it. I think we kind of broke even because what it cost us to post those ads. There. I mean, and it's just, I think we actually made money, but it was not worth our time. The time value of that was, on a net, we definitely lost. But obviously doing SEO and ranking really well in the boroughs of New York, meaning Brooklyn, the Bronx, all that stuff. If you did that really well, obviously you'd make some money. So, there is there, but it depends on where you're at. So I would probably put Craigslist as last, but I think Craigslist, if it works, it really works. We have guys doing HVAC and getting 40 calls a month with $100, I think it's a $240. Oh, they're spending now, but maybe $600 worth of spend. They're getting 40 qualified calls a month. It's $1,200 for $500 spend. It's 3 times your money, man. How do you go wrong with that? It's now we have $497 a month. I think is what he charges. Is unlimited. It's 15. I think it's 10 or 15 posts a day, 6 days a week for a whole month, and they do the creative for you. So they basically just run the ads for you, and you just get the calls. I mean, you could really make PPL 100% hands off. Not what you know what I mean. 80-20% hands off by just doing paid stuff. Leverage, arbitrage other people's work. And sure, you make less margin, but you're not dealing with all the time and effort. That's the whole idea. All right, guys, thanks for listening to the PPL podcast, episode number 5. If you guys have questions, please jump us over to Facebook, facebook.com/, ooh, that was a burp. on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/pay-per-lead marketers. 100% free, no pitches, just a community to ask questions and get stuff answered. It's kind of a way for you to comment on these too. If you're on YouTube, obviously, the comment section below. If you're on SoundCloud or iTunes, jump over to the Facebook groups. Guys, I will see you on the next episode of the PPL podcast. Later.